Authorities collaborating to solve the island's drainage issues, Tobago to get new sargassum response plan, and the Falcon Games return home.
Info
Update.
bringing you the latest
News, views, and reviews.
Along with responses
comments and events
affecting you.
brought to you by the Information Division of the Tobago House of Assembly.
Buku Mount Pleasant residents had the opportunity to raise issues affecting their area at last week's face-to-face community meeting. They got answers to their queries about drainage in the area. Umadara Mills has the details.
Drainage and infrastructure headed the list of concerns for residents of Buku Mount Pleasant. The Secretary of Health and Social Services, Mrs. Claudia Groom-Duke, says her division is not the only one responsible for drainage. That's why she's been collaborating with the Infrastructure and Public Utilities Secretary, Mr. Gary Melville.
We must know that both infrastructure and the Division of Health, they do have a responsibility for drainage. In terms of infrastructure, they are responsible for drainage on main roads, and health is responsible for cleaning drainage cross-country.
Mrs. Groom-Duke says one of the drains needed to be upgraded. It's an even bigger priority, she explains, because of the threat of mosquitoes, which breed in stagnant water.
We are working together. So just let us know some of the areas that are creating issues, and we will pursue and ensure that Tobago remain Zika-free.
I'm Umadara Mills for Info Update.
Last year, the influx of sargassum plagued a number of Tobago's beaches, but there are plans to mount a response should the troublesome seaweed return. Caroline Wallace has the details.
Speyside was hardest hit by the droves of sargassum that floated into the island in 2015. But officials met last week to discuss a comprehensive response plan to deal with the seaweed. Director of the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, TEMA, Mr. Alan Stewart, explains the objectives of the plan.
The plan had 4 or 5 major elements, which speak to the obvious analyzing the hazard, that we looking at the vulnerability study and the impact that the sargassum invasion, over time display when it impacts our shoreline.
Mr. Stewart says the committee has established a framework for the plan which includes tracking the seaweed and providing early warnings.
What we are looking at is early detection, utilizing some of these stakeholders, the importance of people from the Caribbean Airlines, their sighting, fishermen, fisher folks at sea, and also the meteorological service.
The committee will also explore a tiered system for cleaning beaches that become heavily affected by the seaweed. I'm Caroline Wallace for Info Update.
The annual Falcon Games gives the island's young athletes the chance to showcase their talents among regional competition. But host Tobago Falcons Athletic Club had another reason to be proud. Kern de Freitas tells us more.
With the Dwight York Stadium previously unavailable, the Falcon Games have been held in Trinidad for the past 4 years. But on the weekend, the event returned home to the Bacolet facility. Chief Secretary Mr. Orville London says he is pleased to see the event back in Tobago. He is commending the club for its resilience.
Because I'm certain that over those last 4 years, there were many times when they would have had the opportunity to just give it up and to do some delay and finger pointing. Instead of that, they demonstrated resilience and commitment and dedication.
Athletes came from across the region to compete at the Games. Mr. London says events like these are pivotal in developing Tobago's athletes.
Tobago is only 4% of the national population, and we continue to provide, in some cases, 40 to 50% of the athletes on many of our national teams, and the coaches and all of those who have something to do with that should in fact be complimented.
Mr. London says he hopes the Games would have fostered a sense of camaraderie and true sportsmanship among the athletes. I'm Kern de Freitas for Info Update.
That's it from all of us at the Department of Information. I'm Josanne Brassi, and you've been listening to Info Update.